everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have no idea who I am, my name is Lex and I have a 15-month-old named Cooper who is the sweetest little boy. And I'm actually 15 weeks pregnant with our second, and it's going to be a little girl. Before I got too far into this pregnancy, I really just wanted to sit down and go over everything that we do to prepare for conception. Everything we do to prepare for having a baby and the certain steps that we take to get to that point. I also just want to say before we get into all of the nitty-gritty that I apologize for my current appearance. I know I look so tired, and that's because I am so tired. I am so exhausted right now. Not only is Cooper just like a rambunctious, just into everything toddler, but I'm also pregnant and building a human, and on top of that I had a really amazing conversation with one of my girlfriends last night, and I am an old lady and need to go to bed at like 8 o'clock, and I went to bed at like 11:30, so I am super sleepy. So just please ignore this. Just pay attention to like this part of my body. Just like right here. That's all you need. Boop. Alrighty, so the first thing that we do to prepare for trying to conceive a baby is we go to physical / like preconception appointment. So I like to schedule an appointment with my primary care provider, and I scheduled Dan. He wouldn't really go if I didn't schedule the appointment, but I really like that we go into trying to have a baby both knowing that we're healthy. So I go for a preconception appointment. They'll do like a urine analysis, routine blood work, and they will also weigh me. We'll discuss like prenatals. We'll talk about like current things that I should stop doing. These are all things that I kind of knew going into pregnancy because I had done the research myself, but I just wanted to touch base with my physician and talk to them about, just any questions or concerns that I had. The next thing that I do is I start taking prenatal vitamins. You want to take them up to 3 months prior to trying to conceive. With Cooper, I took them 3 months prior. With this baby, I actually never stopped taking prenatal vitamins. If that's confusing, let me explain. I took prenatal vitamins the entire way through breastfeeding Cooper, so I literally have not stopped taking prenatal vitamins since 2015, and we're going into 2018 now, so I have just consistently taken prenatal vitamins. I stopped breastfeeding Cooper on like October 1st and found out that I was pregnant October 2nd. So I take a prenatal with folate, not folic acid, folate, it's the natural version. And then I also take a DHA, which is like fish oil, and then I take a probiotic in the beginning when I'm like trying to conceive, just to make sure like everything down there is just like nice and working and healthy, good flora, bacteria, all that like interesting stuff. The next thing that I do is I wean myself off of caffeine. This was really easy because I was breastfeeding Cooper and I never really went back to drinking full caffeine anyway, so with this baby it really wasn't that big of a deal. But before Cooper, I was drinking so much caffeine. I worked at a bar 5 nights a week. I was up until like 3 in the morning. I lived on caffeine. I had to wean myself off of caffeine, and it was pretty difficult. What I did was I allowed myself 1 regular cup of coffee, and then the rest of the day I did half calf. So whatever I wanted to drink, I did half calf. Then I started to do a half calf cup in the morning, half calf cup, and then I would do decaf the rest of the day. So I was slowly weaning myself off, and then when we started trying for a baby, I stopped drinking caffeine entirely. So I went to decaf until the 2nd trimester. Same thing with this baby, I was drinking decaf up until the 2nd trimester and then switched to half calf. I did have actually a few half calves there with this baby in between, but the majority of it was decaf. Also, let's talk about alcohol. I have never been a huge drinker, and especially now, like neither Dan or I really are. We really love craft beer. I love a good sour. Oh man, it's like my favorite style of beer. But I will have a beer occasionally, especially during the summer. It's really nice to just like sit on the patio and have a beer and just kind of like hang out. So when we are trying to conceive and I'm getting close to my fertile window, I will stop drinking entirely, and I will not drink until I've gotten my period back again. So if the cycle month was not successful and I get my period, then I let myself have a beer and enjoy myself for the first, ish, 2-ish weeks. until my fertile window is coming back again, and then I stop drinking the caffeine, I stop, you know, drinking alcohol if I have any, I stop eating, you know, certain types of foods. And speaking of, that's another thing that I do. I stop eating raw fish when I could be pregnant. I stop having fish high in mercury. I basically eat exactly how I would if I was actually pregnant. So getting more into my cycle and what we actually do to prepare for conception, I start looking at my cycle. I have a 28-day cycle. I usually ovulate around day 14. I have a pretty standard cycle. My period shows up every month. I'm very lucky to have that, to have, you know, consistency within my cycle. And because of that, it's been pretty easy for me to track my cycle. I highly, highly suggest downloading any period tracking app that you can find. Anyone that interests you, that you like. I have one, like one of the oldest ones, because I've tracked my cycle since like 2012, like 2011. Like I can go way back into my app, and that's why I keep using that one, because of the amount of data that I have in it. It's just so personalized and customized for my body. Even my miscarriages in there, my first pregnancy, this pregnancy, everything is calculated. So I really like using it. I think it's just called like Period Tracker Lite. Now there's a bunch of different methods when looking at like frequency of intimacy, you know, how many times you should have sex, you know, whether you should have it daily during your fertile window, whether you should have it every other day. It really is just so sided. I mean, even if you ask like multiple physicians, some will say to have sex every day, some will say to have sex every other day until it, like, the little spermies like rejuvenate. I don't know, but it's really up to you what you want to try. Depends on the amount of sex that you have naturally in your, you know, relationship. Either one will work, you know. Like, you're not like ruining your chances by having sex every day during your fertile window. Like, if anything, you're doing the opposite. So whichever way you want to go about it is really just like between you and your partner. And, you know, if one way doesn't seem to be working, try it the other way. You know, the one thing that I highly suggest is don't make it a chore. Try not to. It's okay. I talk to Dan all the time about ovulation and, you know, how things work in a female body and fallopian tubes and stuff like that. You know, like we talk about it. Obviously that's not the most attractive, sexiest thing you could talk about, you know, with your partner, but like try not to make it all about conception, and just be happy in the moment, and like just excited that you're making a baby with this like special person in your life, and like you have all these fun, amazing things ahead of you, and like the stress will really just like affect your body. Hi, how many times have you guys stressed when you were younger that you might possibly be pregnant because your period was literally 2 hours late, and you ended up pushing your period back like 2 or 3 days because of how stressed out you were about it? I've done that a few times, like, and I've heard so many other women who have also done that. So stress can really change your body and alter you. So if you're going to do anything that's going to harm your chances of conceiving, obviously I'm not a doctor, this is my personal uneducated opinion, but I think being stressed out and like uptight about everything just does not do your body any good. And let it be different, but don't turn it into a chore. That is my public service announcement for today. I hate talking about stuff like this, but I'm gonna do it because I have a YouTube channel and it's all about baby making and being parents and parenthood and stuff like that. So here we go. There is this product that I always suggest to people, and it's called Pre-Seed. And I don't know if it works. Dan and I have a 100% success rate with using it, so that says something. But it's called Pre-Seed, and it's like it's a lube consistency that like helps create a like happy, friendly, healthy environment for the little spermies to live in. And don't think that it's like something that you have to use for people who like have issues with anything like that. Trust me, it's literally meant for everyone. But it kind of just like aids them. No. swim, and like all of that stuff. I have one thing to say about it though. From like self-constructed data analysis, my findings, my conclusion is it does tend to get sticky after a while. You have a time frame, so things get weird. When it comes to testing for pregnancy, I start testing around 9 DPO. Okay, I should start testing around 9 DPO because 9 DPO, both pregnancies, not with my miscarriage because that was a unique circumstance where I found out like 2 weeks later that I was pregnant, but 9 DPO is when I get positive pregnancy tests. What I like to do though is waste all of my money and pee on everything from like 2 DPO to 9 DPO. So that's what I do. I just take pregnancy tests with like, I'm like, well, if I have quadruplets, shouldn't it be like 4 or 5 days before a regular baby? So I might have a positive pregnancy test at 3 DPO. That's me. That's my thought process when I'm like in the 2-week wait, because I'm impatient and can't wait. Well, this video is already incredibly long and I hope that it was informative for you. If you have any questions or comments, comment below and I would love to hear all about them. Also, if you have any suggestions for other people too, who are maybe like starting this whole journey, if you have any other like preconception tips and tricks for them, let's try to keep this like PG-13 in the comment section, just in case there are any like young children or preteens watching this video, even though you probably shouldn't be. I'm just becoming a health teacher now. Learning the health from Lex on the Fitzgerald's channel. That's me. You're gonna go to school and be like, I know all about fallopian tubes. You want to take a prenatal with folate. Today I learned on YouTube that pre-seed gets sticky. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We are having a little girl. I cannot believe it. I thought I was a boy mom. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you soon. Bye!